Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So lately I've been getting asked a lot if I ever planned on doing another games I bought recently video, and I figured now would be a really good time to do it because over the past 5 or 6 months I did pick up a lot of Xbox 360 games for my collection, and I figured why not show those to you guys in a games I bought recently video. Now one of the reasons that I originally stopped doing these videos is because I didn't think there was too much value in showing games that I haven't had a chance to play yet, but apparently a lot of people still find value in that type of content, so I hope you guys enjoy. I've got about 60 games here to go through, and towards the later half of the video, I'm going to do a mystery unboxing of a lot of 360 games that I bought. I don't know what's in there, but we'll find out together. It's probably loaded with a bunch of not so great games and maybe like one or two gems in there. I honestly forget what's in this box since I bought it a few months ago. I was planning on maybe doing it for a video, so I figured let's put it in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. These are in no particular order. I'm just going to kind of go through them. And starting off is El Chavo cart. This is one that I've always wanted, and I was able to actually get this for a pretty good deal. I think I actually snagged this for about $60, which is a good chunk below what it normally goes for. This is a game that was released exclusively in Mexico, I believe it was, and it's fully playable. You can pop this into your 360 and play it just fine, and it's a cute little kart racer that I've heard some pretty good things about. I think it's based on some TV show or something. I don't know too much about the property that this is based on, but I've actually heard this recommended by quite a few people over the years, so I figured let's get that because I love my kart racers. For this one here, I gotta give a shout out. Jason Heine always warned me for years and years on All Gen Gamers to pick up and play this game, and I never heeded his warning. Unfortunately, I waited a little long to get it. I could have had this for like $10 over all these years, and now I had to end up paying, I think, like 35 or 40 for this or something like that. I did kind of pick this up towards the chaotic period of people picking up their 360 games, but I do look forward to checking this out. I love my car combat destruction type of racing games, and it's really a genre that has gone to the wayside, especially with the cancellation of the that was supposed to come out, the new Twisted Metal game that was based on the television show. So I'll take my car carnage kind of games anytime I can get them. This came in a lot. I picked up a lot of games, and I'm pretty sure I bought the lot specifically for this one. And this is the Space Marine game, which significantly enough, the sequel came out today. I told myself if I was able to get around to this before the sequel, I would play the sequel, but unfortunately that did not happen in time. So I do need to, check this out and play it first, and then we'll go from there and see how the new one is. Apparently people are enjoying it. Here's another one that's sort of like under the radar in terms of how hard it is to get. I got this for a really good price. I think I actually bought this on Mercari. No, I got this on eBay from somebody with a really, really bad title. I think it was like 10 bucks or something, but I think normally this game at the time was going for like 20 to $30, and that's Monster Jam Path of Destruction. I've never played a Monster Jam game before, but I was curious as to why this one was going for the price that it was. Maybe it's actually a pretty fun game. If there's any games here that you guys have played and you want to recommend that I play for others, leave a comment and let me know. And when the time comes, I will definitely reference your comments to see what I should be playing first. I picked up Venetica. Admittedly, I don't know too much about this one. I've always remembered the cover over the years, but really these days, any kind of like janky looking third person action game where it just looks like it's from this like mid to late 2000s era, gotta play it. Those games are so hard to get these days, and Venetica seems to scratch that itch. This one here was surprisingly hard to track down. This used to be cheap for so long. Apparently the PS3 copy is also just as hard to get, and that's a game called Mayhem. It was actually cheaper for me to buy a sealed copy that had the two glasses. So this is a game that you can put these 3D glasses on, and the game is in black and white, but it'll kind of appear 3D with glasses. Pretty cool concept, kind of concept that you'll probably never see in video games ever again now that we have VR and everything. But I'm really curious to check this one out. I didn't really overpay for this or anything. Even though it is a sealed copy, even though the seal kind of feels like it's unofficial. I don't know. Maybe it was like rewrapped or something with the glasses. But it says in 3D glasses included, works on any TV. So, like I said, car combat games, I'm in. I'll check out any one that I haven't played before. All right, we got Deadpool. I picked this up before the excitement over the film, the Deadpool Wolverine film. So I don't remember what this was. I think it came in a lot. It was pretty cheap. Like I said, this is before anybody was really caring about the Deadpool game, so it was probably like the equivalent of $10 or something. So I figured, why not? This one I'm pretty excited to have, which is the Simpsons game. I'm a very casual Simpsons fan. I don't really watch it anymore these days, but you know, Simpsons are kind of timeless. Grew up watching them a bit. You see clips from Simpsons all the time, so I figured got to get the Simpsons game. I've heard really great things about it, and the main reason I want to check it out is because the cell shading in this game looks fantastic. I love cell shading. It's such a super timeless graphical style that just ages so well over the years. Here's one that I think a lot of people kind of Ooh, no, that was okay. I was thinking of a different one. Well, we'll do this one anyway. We'll get to the other one that I was going to mention in a second. I thought this was something else. This is Nailed. This is actually starting to become pretty hard to get. I don't remember what I paid for this. I think it was a little bit above, you know, I waited a little too long to buy this one kind of thing. I think this game used to be like 10 bucks and now it's gone up in price pretty significantly. But yeah, sort of a ATV over-the-top racing game that I'm sure I think has a bunch of licensed music in here. You know, a game of the times that we don't see too often anymore. All right, let's see. We got Tenchu Z. Excited for this one. I have still never properly played a Tenchu game except for Red Ninja, which is sort of within the series, but not an official Tenchu game, I would say. Not at least under the Tenchu name. I'm not sure what the first Tenchu game is that I should play. I've only ever think played maybe a demo for the first game or something, so I'm still very, very new to the Tenchu series. Should I start with this one or should I start with one of the earlier ones? I don't know. You guys will have to let me know. Heard mixed things about the 361. Battleship. So this is probably not what you're expecting, and the reason I wanted to pick this up is because I wonder if it says bonus inside $10 movie cash. Do we get the movie cash? It doesn't look like it. Oh well. This is a first-person shooter. It's not like what you would expect from a battleship game, so you're like fighting aliens or something. It's based on the movie. I've never seen the movie, but I thought that was kind of a little oddball. It was super cheap. I also picked up Clive Barker's Jericho. I've been very curious about this one over the years. It seems like some people love this game, some people really don't like this game, so I figured I would make up my own mind on that. I think this might have just been included in a lot. I am not really sure, but this is Legends of War Patton. I think this is like a top-down RTS game. Even if it was included in a lot, at least it's not like your typical first-person shooter, so for that, it's, you know, something worth checking out, perhaps. This one here, definitely waited a little long to buy this one. Should have bought this sooner. But that is Dead or Alive Extreme 2. Never played the Dead or Alive Extreme series, so hopefully this is a good jumping in point. Obviously bought it because it's a volleyball game. No other reasons whatsoever, so look forward to checking that out. I think it's also, oh yeah, it's got other mini games in there too, all kinds of stuff. Enhance your vacation with a variety of tropical island activities and complete with other girls for fun and rewards. IGN says Dead or Alive Extreme 2 takes things to another level of sinful enjoyment. The IGN of the past. I'm sure they would hate themselves today for saying something like that. Lord of the Rings War in the North. Yeah, never played this. Huge Lord of the Rings fan. And these days I got to look for older Lord of the Rings content to get my fill. And the fact that I somehow never got around to playing this means that this is like an essential for me today. I've heard really good things. I think the reason I never got around to it at the time is it conflicted with some other game that came out, and I just chose the other game, because for me to pass up a Lord of the Rings game like that on the 360, it would have taken something pretty substantial. This one here, oh man, I really wish I bought this in the future, because this one I did have to pay, the premium on. Afro Samurai used to be like a $10-15 game, I'm pretty sure. Now it's like in the $40 to $50 realm, I believe. I don't remember what I paid. I think I paid $35 for this. Generally for these games, I was kind of just waiting for a good deal to pop up or an offer that I suddenly get accepted. Very few of these I actually paid like the going rate or over the going rate, unless I felt like I had to strike right now. Otherwise, the price might go up. But yeah, I look forward to playing this. The graphics look awesome. I don't know anything about Afro Samurai, to be honest, but I've heard the game is great. And I will try games out that are just supposed to be really fun, even if I'm not familiar with the property that it's based on. Kingdom Under Fire, Circle of Doom. Don't know too much about this one, but it's just one of those exclusives that I want to make up my own mind on, see how it is, because it was pretty cheap when I bought it. It was like $8. Got a pretty good price on that. Super excited for this one. This is Ride to Hell Retribution. No idea why it has 1% in the title. No clue. This game is supposed to be horrible, absolutely horrible, and that makes me excited to play it because I think it's one of those so bad it's good games. I also made sure to pick up the DLC for this as the Xbox store was closing, so I bought like an extra mission or something. I figured if I really liked the game, I would hate myself for not getting the DLC mission, so I made sure to pick that up. This one here, I'm also really curious to see how it is. Once again, a game I don't know the property of too much, but Legend of Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole. This is some kind of like flight game, almost like a I don't want to say Star Fox or Panzer Dragoon, but like when I look at the screenshots and the video that I remember checking, that's kind of what comes to mind when I look at this. Kind of like an old school arcadey flying shooting action game. It looks cool regardless of whether or not you know the movie that it's based on. So maybe worth checking out some video on that to see for yourself. This one here, Blood Draw, I've always been curious about this. Kind of a little horror adjacent game. But this is a car combat game that I believe you just play single player mostly. I don't know if this had, yeah, it did have online multiplayer at one point, but it's mostly a single player game where you're just running over and killing zombies in a car. So pretty much any horror games that I don't own from this era, I will eventually own, and that is one of them I didn't have. This was recommended to me by somebody in my stream. They were like, oh man, you guys should really check out Kengo. I think it's kind of a sleeper around the time when people are trying to consider what to buy on 360, and it was an exclusive. I don't know much about it. Kengo Legend of the Nine, so some kind of ancient samurai action game. It was really cheap at the time as well. And I was very surprised. I went through my collection and I thought I owned this game, but I think I just rented it from GameFly. I was surprised to learn that I did not own The Darkness, and I've been wanting to revisit and replay The Darkness again because I loved playing this game back in the day. Absolutely loved the atmosphere in this game, and so I figured I'd get a physical copy of that for myself. And I also have never played The Darkness 2, so I found a lot where somebody was selling The Darkness 1 and The Darkness 2 together for like 20 bucks. I'm like, okay, good enough for me. We'll pick that up. And it was the limited edition of The Darkness 2. I don't know what that comes with. Probably nothing special. Okay, next we have Rise of the Argonauts. This is one that I've always been interested in playing. I didn't buy this when it first came out because the reviews were very mediocre, if not leaning towards the bad side of things. But that was when the game was brand new for $50. Now, when I was able to get it for like 10, I thought, let's get it. Let's see how it is finally after all these years. Dark Void, I've heard very mixed things on this, but there are a lot of people that were recommending this game. It even has a Toys R Us thank you sticker on the back. This is brand new and sealed. It was like $10. I figured for that price, it's worth the risk. Let's see what some old school Capcom game is like on the 360. And then Naughty Bear Gold Edition. I got the Gold Edition because I didn't want to be stuck with the original edition and then regret not having like the extra content that's in this one. I've never played Naughty Bear, so I figured this would be the best way to start. Just get the kind of like big, full, complete edition. Let's see. Some games here are like rubber banded together for a reason. 3 games came together here. I'm just looking for the third one. Okay. I don't know where it went. Well, anyway, there was supposed to be 3 of these games together. Oh, here it is. I got it. I got a lot that came with, I think these are the only MX versus ATV games on 360. So we got MX versus ATV, Supercross, Alive, and Reflex. Never played these games before, but they were dirt cheap, and I figured, why not? It knocks all 3 out of the, kill 3 birds with 1 stone kind of thing in one lot for one good price. So I don't know which one I should start with. If you're a fan of this series, the MX versus ATV games on 360 specifically, tell me what one is the best one to start with, and I'll start with that one. Now this game went crazy when people started hunting for 360 games. Unfortunately, I waited a little too long to pick this one up, but I picked up Velvet Assassin. So the price did go up to the, at the time when I was trying to buy it, it was like $50 or $60, so I was really trying to be patient to get a good deal. Somebody did post one. I think I got this for about 25 bucks or something crazy. I say crazy because at the time that was actually a really good price, but it does have a tear on the front cover there a little bit. No big deal. At the end of the day, I'll still be able to play the game for a good price. And this one has like a bonus disc in it too. I'm not sure what's on the bonus disc, but I figured this game was shooting up in price, especially for the 360 version. So we'll see how Velvet Assassin is. I'm not usually the biggest fan of stealth games, so we'll see. If I don't like it, I could always just pass it off. All right. We got, I think this one just came in a lot. I don't think I picked this up on purpose, but this is Frontlines Fuels of War. This one I did get on purpose because I actually um, opened up some of the trading cards recently, and then I started watching the show to see like what the cards were based on, and the show was pretty good. First season not that great with the flash animation, but later seasons actually had some really cool art, and that's Chaotic Shadow Warriors. So I actually, watched a little bit of the show to see what the source material was like, and I thought it was pretty cool. A show that I never watched when I was younger, but I figured this is like one of the few games that is based on Chaotic. There's one on the DS, and that's about it. There's not much out there for chaotic video games, so you got to take what you can get. I also picked this one up. I'm excited to play this one day, and that is Dark. It's a vampire stealth game. I'm not sure if this kind of leans into a horror subgenre of sorts. I mean, it is vampires, so I guess you could say. But it's supposed to be one of those really, really bad games, but I want to find out for myself. This copy, I waited too long to pick up Dark. When I went to go get it, it was sold out everywhere on eBay and it was pretty expensive. So, believe it or not, I checked Amazon, and I got a few of these games from Amazon. And this one I bought on Amazon, it didn't say if it was complete or what, but it was like 20 bucks, pretty cheap. So I figured I'd take the chance on it. This copy did not come with the manual. I'm sure there probably was a manual, but no big deal. At least I got it for a good price. I'll be able to play it cheaply. I think I also bought the DLC for that game on the Xbox Live Arcade store. Okay, this one here is apparently a lot that I bought because they are rubber band together. So let's just go through these ones pretty quickly all at once, shall we? Looks like it came with Singularity, Prey. Oh, that's why I bought it, because it came with Syndicate. Here, let me take this out of here. It came with Syndicate, which I've always heard good things about. Singularity, I've also heard okay things about too. A lot of these 360 era shooters I missed out on because I was so busy playing certain online ones like Halo or Call of Duty, whatever the heck I was playing at the time. Prey, I did enjoy Prey back in the day. Some of these will be doubles, like some of them I will own already because they came in a lot. So, I'll find a way to trade or sell those at some point. Syndicate, yeah, I've always wanted to try this. Some people were a huge fan of this, and some people really were not into it. So I remember Jeff Gertzman, Giant Bomb back in the day, like gushing about this game. So it's one of the main reasons I always wanted to check it out because sometimes a lot of people write off a game, and there's that one person out there really kind of pushing for it, and it makes you check it out, and maybe you'll like it just as much as they did. Risen, uh, unfortunately, I think recently the studio, yeah, Deep Silver, Piranha Bytes. Fortunately, they won't be making games anymore. I think they got shut down recently. But I am a big fan of Eurojank RPGs, and I've never really dabbled into the Risen games before, so I figured probably not the best way to play Risen, but I do sometimes like to play console editions of games like Two Worlds just to see how they performed at the time and kind of get the authentic console experience, if you will. So I don't know if I'll play it on 360 or if maybe I'll try the PC version first. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's backwards compatible on the Series X. Two Human, which I did not buy the lot for, but I actually don't think I had a copy of Two Human before buying this lot. And then Dark Sector, a game I also did not have, one that I'd be very curious about. One of those action games that you'd never see games like this getting made anymore, at least not with that sort of like simple. I just want to say most action games now that come out have DNA of like Dark Souls games, right? Like the feeling of the combat. It's really hard to get a straight up action game these days that feels like a 360 PS3 era action game. So that's why any of these ones that I've never played before, they're just easy to pick up because it's like, well, if I'm looking to play a game like that on modern consoles, it's usually not going to happen. So got to go back to the 360. And there's a wealth of them to check out. Legendary, very excited to check out this one. This is a game that kind of got slammed in reviews back when it came out. And I will admit, I was put off from it because of the reviews. But looking back at the gameplay of this, I'm like, wow, I think I actually would have really liked this game. And it's a shame because I had online multiplayer and now I'll never get to experience it. But it's got like a bunch of mythological creatures like griffins and werewolves and minotaurs and stuff. It really seemed like my kind of thing. I'm kind of disappointed in myself for ignoring it. Believe it or not, I don't think I played Duke Nukem Forever either. I don't. I don't think this game. The reviews, I think, kind of pushed me away from it when it came out. But I'm sure this is an absolute blast to play today. Quake 4. I think I got rid of my copy of this a long time ago. This was one of the launch games for 360. I actually played a lot of Quake 4, both single player, but a lot of online, and had a blast with this game. Let's see what else we got here. Doom 3 BFG edition. I think this came in a lot. I don't think I picked that up by itself. This one I did buy, though, on purpose, and that is Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard. One of those, once again, it's supposed to be super bad that it's probably pretty good action games, and D3 Publisher put this one out apparently. If any of you have played this, let me know what you think. I've heard very, very mixed things over the years. One of those games that came out to like abysmal reviews. I think the average on Metacritic was like a 4 out of 10 or something. Like it was really bad. This one here, I bought sealed because it was cheaper to buy it sealed from somebody that was selling a bunch of these than to try and track down a used copy. And that's Deadfall Adventures. I think a game that really went under the radar of mostly everybody. I never heard a single person mention this game in all the years of making videos on YouTube and watching people talk about their 360 collection. I only found out about this game until like 4 or 5 years ago. Like it flew super duper under the radar. I know it looks like kind of like an Indiana Jones kind of cover, but it seemed like a pretty interesting game based on the gameplay that I watched, sort of like a Uncharted-esque Indiana Jones kind of game. I don't know how to describe it, but it looked pretty fun. I'm not sure if it's still cheap and affordable. I didn't check eBay before making this video. But I will say that a majority of the 360 prices are starting to stabilize at this point from what I've seen when I do my eBay streams. Like, yes, some of them have gone up and won't be coming back down to their pre-360 closure prices, but a lot of them that were very expensive are starting to come down. So like, say a $70 game is now starting to fall back down into like the $50 or $40 range, but it will never hit the like $20 to $30 range that maybe it used to be. So just give it a little bit of time. Just wait until like January, February, and then that's, I think, where you're going to see like whatever game prices are then, that's what you're really going to see them priced at going forward for quite a while. This one I was very curious about, and that's the Bureau XCOM Declassified. So this isn't like your traditional XCOM game. It's more of a third-person action shooter, but it does kind of use a XCOM formula when it comes to using abilities and weapons and everything. It looked pretty interesting. I'm not sure what I'm going to think of this personally, but it has like a sort of third-person RTS kind of feel to it. So figured I would check that out. Very happy to get this one. This one I had to struggle to piece together, and that was Never Dead. I had to buy the disc by itself for like $8 or $10, and then I had to track down. Luckily, somebody was actually selling just the case and the manual by itself, really cheap, and then I was able to get the disc for a really good price. So I was able to piece together a copy of this complete for like under $20 while the game was on eBay at the time, like during the panic, going for like $50 at least, and all copies were sold out. So I was pretty happy with that. This is one of those games where I was completely misled by reviewers at the time. I remember, once again, at the time I listened to a lot of and watched a lot of Giant Bomb, and I remember Alex Navarro was saying that this was one of the worst games he had ever played, like abysmal levels of terrible. And I was like, okay, I'm not wasting my money on that game then. But looking back at the gameplay, I think I would have loved Never Dead. Does it have some tedious moments to it? I'm sure it does. But just the concept of playing a third-person shooter where like your character becomes dismembered to the point where you're just a head hopping around and you can still control just a hopping head just sounds so crazy to me that I think I'm really going to enjoy checking this one out. I think this may have come with a lot. I don't recall, but I did pick up Max Payne 3 just because I played Max Payne 1 recently for the first time, and once I make my way through 2, I want to make sure that I have a copy of the third game ready, though I have heard that Max Payne 3 is very divisive for serious fans. People are really not a fan of that game, apparently. This is one that I think a lot of people slept on, including myself, and that is Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL. So this is sort of like a Smash Brothers type fighting game with a bunch of Cartoon Network characters. A lot of the characters that are in here, I did not grow up watching these shows, but like I said, I can still appreciate a good, even if it's Smash Brothers clone fighting game, as long as it's fun, as long as it's enjoyable. I don't mind that I didn't grow up with most of these characters. Like there's some in there that I used to watch, but a lot of them like Ben 10, whatever the heck else is on, like some weird characters and shows. I don't know what the heck they are. Like these characters down here, no idea who that is. But I figured I would get that. It seems like a pretty uncommon one to get as well. Oh, I did pick up XCOM Enemy Within. A lot of these were just kind of like super cheap, right? Like I don't think this game is ever or will ever go up in price on 360, but I think I was able to get it complete for like $6 or something. So the kind of game really easy to get, but I've never actually played the sequel to XCOM, Enemy Unknown. So I've never played Enemy Within. So everything beyond the first release of XCOM on 360, I've never played. So I figured let's check this out. one day I've been getting the XCOM itch because I loved Enemy Unknown. Absolutely love that game. It's like my game of the year practically, I think, for the year it came out, if I remember right. So this one here, the artwork was a little bit beat up on it, but I do remember getting this like dirt cheap because of that. No big deal. It's not water damage, just that the art's kind of like crinkly. But it's Way of the Samurai 3. I've played the first game a bit a few years ago. I'm not sure if I've dabbled in the second game yet, but I figured just as a security to pick up the third one because this does kind of feel like one of those games where in time it may become really hard to get. Yeah, any kind of samurai game, especially from this era, you really gotta keep an eye out for when it comes to how rare does it get? Does it go up in price? So I'm not sure if I'll get around to this one before playing Way of the Samurai 2, but I wanted to get this while I had an opportunity to get a really cheap copy before it potentially went up. Okay, this is the one that I was thinking of earlier when I got it mixed up with Nailed. This game here, Mud. FIM Motocross World Championship. This is like a sleeper rare game. And I say sleeper in terms of like, this is a game that I feel like a lot of people have no idea about. I had no idea about this game. I was just kind of randomly browsing through 360 games on eBay and I came across the cover of this. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I checked for more copies and there were not a lot available. I'm not sure if it's a good game. It's probably not a good game, but I think I paid like $15, $18 for this. Pretty cheap, and once in a while I'm in for a good motocross kind of game. So keep an eye out for this one. It's not one of the most common games out there for 360. Oh, super duper excited for this one. I'm a huge Ridge Racer fan, and I have never played Ridge Racer Unbounded. So to say that I'm excited to play this, I originally once again avoided this one because when it came out, people were just so mad about the release of this game. They were like, this isn't my Ridge Racer. This isn't the Ridge Racer that I grew up with and remembered playing, because they essentially tried to turn it into some kind of like burnout kind of car destruction game, like split second style or something. So I was like, okay, forget it. I'm not going to play this one. I'll just wait for the next Ridge Racer game. Maybe it goes back to a more arcadey style. But guess what? There never was another traditional Ridge Racer game. So this was essentially the end of the series. And I'm excited to try it. Now, I think people have been coming around. A lot of people have been saying that they actually really enjoyed this game for what it was. And it's definitely one of my most anticipated to check out from my list of pickups. Also, if you guys have made it through the video this long, I do appreciate it. This is a lot of games, so thank you for watching. I do appreciate those of you that still enjoy this type of content, even though it's, not highly edited with video popping up all over the place and everything, right? Like, some nice old school chill style pickups videos on YouTube. John Woo, Stranglehold Collector's Edition. I played a demo for Stranglehold, and I thought it was cool, but I never got around to playing the full game or renting it or beating it or anything like that. So I figured I picked it up. I got the collector's edition just because I'm going to be honest, I like the cover way more than the normal one. The cover for this looks so cool. It's got a little holographic cover. I don't know what the heck it comes with. Let me see here. Let me pop this open real quick as a disc just flies out of the case. So it comes with the game, comes with a bonus DVD. I'm not sure what's on the bonus DVD. But anyway, this is actually kind of a little bit more difficult to get a hold of. Not a collector's edition you see all the time, at least when I was hunting for it on eBay. This one here I bought on Amazon, and this was a blind buy. I had unfortunately waited a little too long to pick this up, after the 360 hype had began. And I had to go on Amazon because eBay was completely sold out of copies, and I had to take a chance on buying one that didn't describe if it was complete or what condition it was in. But thankfully, it was complete. Spectral Force 3. Let me see here. Yep, really nice shape. Let me check the disc. I don't think I've checked the disc. Yep, mint disc. So, eBay at the time, it was like just completely sold out. There were no copies to buy. So I think on Amazon, I managed to get this for, I think it was somebody that forgot to update their price or something. It was like pre-panic prices. So it was like whatever this game used to go for, $30 or something. I've never played a Spectral Force game, but I will tell you the thing that convinced me is I watched a video and heard the voice acting, which was horrible. Super bad. Some of the worst voice acting I've ever heard in a game. That actually made me want to pick it up, but also because the music was amazing. Some just really kick-ass metal music. I love that. Really, you got to get some hyper metal music in these kind of games, right? Because turn-based tactical RPGs can feel a little slow at times, but if you throw some really hype music, it can really get you amped up to, defeat the boss or beat the level. All right, we also got the Saboteur, one that a lot of people have been recommending over the years. There's quite a few fans of this game, so I figured I would try it out for myself. And oh, apparently I also got the first Monster Jam, so a lot of racing games that I picked up. So I'm not sure which one I'll start with. I guess I should probably play the first Monster Jam before I play the what was it, Monster Jam Path of Destruction. Just like I promised you guys, I got the box here that we're gonna open. Um, I did pre-cut this just to make things go faster, but I have no idea what is in this box outside of course, the top two games because I could see it. It's actually splitting at the seam. How heavy this box was. The label, the person that shipped this, I bought this back in April. They put on the box 1 pound 10 ounces. No, this is like 10 pounds 1 ounce. There's so many games in here, so they definitely got a break on that shipping. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of grab a game off to the side here, and we'll find out what they are together. We'll go through this one pretty quick because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of crappy games in here. I probably bought this lot for like maybe 1 game, 2 games. We'll see. I'm not sure what's in here. We'll find out together. But we got Sonic 06. Don't mind having another copy of this because in case I ever get one signed, I would bring like my original copy to get signed, and then I'll have an extra one. And I always need more discs of this game because once in a while I do go back and speedrun it a bit, even though you can install the disc, yada yada, whatever. It's a Sonic game, okay? Don't question me. I want it. Bulletstorm Epic Edition. I did play and beat Epic Bulletstorm back when it came out. I was a pretty big fan of that game. I haven't played it since it came out, so revisiting that would be pretty cool, but I do think I still have my original copy of that. Okay, here's the game I bought the lot for. NBA 2K11, obviously. Facebreaker, never played this one. This is one of those games that you always see in lots. Like, if you're buying a 360 lot like I did, this game's probably in there. An original Xbox game, Ghost Recon. Okay, I wasn't expecting original Xbox games in this lot. Transformers, the game. I think I may have rented this game back in the day to get achievements, back when I was really into achievements. Sega Superstars Tennis. This is one that I think I had the dual case, like the dual collection for this one. It came with something else. I forget what it was, like Forza or something like that, or not Forza. It was something else. Project Gotham, maybe. Can't recall. Bayonetta. Still got my original copy, so whatever. I'll get rid of this at some point. Sleeping Dogs. I have never actually played Sleeping Dogs, so. But I don't think I would play the 360 version unless it's on Series X. I'm sure there's a better way to play that game now, though. Gears of War 1 and 3. I don't think I particularly bought this lot for those games, so let's keep digging. Prince of Persia. I have my original copy of this. Great game. I've been wanting to revisit that in the future as well. Ghost Recon 2. A blockbuster case for NCAA 14 2007. Let's just make sure. Yep, that is the game that is inside. Oh boy, looks like we got some sports games. We got Tomb Raider Anniversary, which I don't think I have, so that's kind of a nice pickup. Now, a lot like this, I probably paid next to nothing for this. Like, it was probably somebody that put the lot up for like 50 bucks or something. For me to buy a lot like this, based on what I've seen here, it had to be really, really cheap. Assassin's Creed, FIFA Soccer 11. Come on, where's the good stuff? You know there's got to be something in here. Time Shift in a Hollywood video case. Okay, I'll take that. Never played Time Shift. Oh, Soul Calibur 4. I actually don't own that game either. I think I may have rented it, though. Not. Oh, wow, okay. So this actually had Ride to Hell Retribution. So I bet you it probably ended up happening was I bought Ride to Hell Retribution individually first, and then it came with this lot, and I was like, what the heck? We'll get a second copy. It's probably going to be something easy to trade or sell in the future anyway. Mass Effect. Red Dead Redemption. What is this? WSOP Tournament of Champions? What the heck is this? Blockbuster case? Oh, okay, a poker game. Final Fantasy 13. In my opinion, obviously, if you're going to play it on console, the best way to do it is on Series X. Oh boy. We also got... Oh, Afro Samurai disc only. Okay, so in case my disc on the other one is good, I didn't check it. I have a backup disc. Lost Planet, which I don't think I had a copy of. I rented this game and I wasn't super into it back in the day, so now I have a chance to try it again. Sniper Ghost Warrior, never played this series. Another copy of Two Human. You can't have too many copies of Two Human. Virtua Fighter 5, which I don't think I had either. I think I rented that game though. Xbox Live Arcade compilation disc. Oh, this was probably one of the reasons I got it too, because I think this game might have been going up a little bit at the time because of the store closing. So getting a physical copy of this that has a bunch of Xbox Live Arcade games on it um, is probably one of the reasons I picked this up. And then Halo 3 ODST. Battlefield 1 on the Xbox One. Star Wars Lego. No one cares. No one cares. Okay, we still got a handful of games in here. Assassin's Creed 2, whatever. A lot of fodder in here for like a booth at a convention to sell these games off for a few bucks each. Rocket League, no one cares. NBA 2K14, whatever. Oh, Rogue Warrior. Okay, this is one I did not have and was curious in playing. It's one that I don't think I've ever really heard somebody talk about. What is this? Rayman Origins and a GameStop case. Oh, Splatterhouse. There we go. So that would have been one of the reasons I bought this. Let's see how the disc condition is. Come on. It looks pretty much mint. Really good. I don't think my disc is mint, so this is going to be a good disc to swap it out for. This game, in my opinion, going to be one of the more sought after 360 games in the future. Even though it is on PS3, just a great game. I have played it years ago. I will definitely be revisiting that game. I think it's great. Really, really great action game. If you've ever written Splatterhouse off on 360 and PS3, do give it a chance. It is way better than people would lead you to believe. Okay, and this is the final stack of games here. So we've got Mirror's Edge. My tower over here is getting way too big. Oh, this is probably the reason I picked it up. I knew there had to be something in here that I really wanted, and that is Spec Ops: The Line. This is, like, when I picked this up, this game was a bit more than it's going for now. I think the price has come down a bit, but I've heard such good things about Spec Ops: The Line. And I know this isn't like the collector's version of it or whatever the heck it is, but around when I bought this lot, this game was like 40 or 50 bucks, and I think I got this whole lot for like $50, something ridiculous, like $50, $60. So I'm happy with that. And oh, Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit, another game that I probably would have picked up by itself. And apparently a sealed copy of Split Second. Okay. Well, I already have Split Second, but I guess got a sealed copy now. I don't keep sealed copies of games, so I'm gonna sell or trade that or something. But that's the box. That was more good games in there than I was expecting. I was only expecting like one or two games, but there were a few pretty good ones in there. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment if you guys enjoyed. And if you're new to the channel, this is the kind of content I do here. So if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and check out the rest of the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.